Hey guys, it's Sabrina. Today I'm going to be doing my January TBR. I'm not going to start by talking about how freaked out I am that it's January, or about to be January. I'm not going to do that this time. I do it every monthly TBR video, and I'm not going to talk about the passage of time because everything's fine, absolutely fine. Anyway, TBR prompt jar. That's what we're doing today. I have my trusty TBR jar right here. As you can see, there's like old prompts right here, so I left the ones out from last month so that I wouldn't choose the same ones over again. And yeah, I'm going to choose 10 prompts out of here, match them with 10 books. I don't plan on reading 10 books this month, honestly, but I like to have the variety, so I have options. So let's get started. Let's choose number 1. There's also one book that I just like desperately want to get into this TBR, and that has to be in this TBR. Not for any real reason other than me wanting it, so... A book set in another country. Does a fantasy country count? I think I'm going to make it count. It probably shouldn't, because that was not my intention when writing this, but I'm going to make it a fantasy country, because it's still not America. And this is the book that I really wanted to jam into the TBR any way that I could, so it just seems fitting to choose it for the first one. And that is, I can't even hold it. That is Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 5th book in the Stormlight Archives, which is a series that I'm so sorry, I can't even begin to describe. It's a super high fantasy series, obviously set in another country. It's not set in America because it's fantasy. And you follow like a very war-dominated society, and you follow people from like a bunch of different walks of life. One is a girl who's like trying to become a scholar to save her family. She's my favorite. Another guy is like he used to be a medic, but he's forced to be a slave. That you're also following like the general of the army, and it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. I haven't read it in years, first of all, so my memory's hazy. And second of all, this is the 5th fucking book, so I can't catch you up to speed. I'm sorry. But I desperately want to read this. It just came out. Like, I just got it on my doorstep like a week ago. And this is probably going to take me the whole month to read, if I'm being honest. But I'm going to go for it because I love this series so much. It's one of my favorite series of all time. Okay, number 2. Number 2 is a cover with flowers. There is one book I'm thinking of, but I'm not quite sure if it has flowers on it, so let me find it. Nope. That book was Burnham Wood, but there's only trees, no flowers, so this one can't count. Okay, that's a book with flowers on it. Ooh, this is a good one. Well, I don't know if it's a good book, but it has flowers on it. This is If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha. I don't remember much about this book, except it's a commentary on the Korean beauty industry, I believe. I remember when it first came out, I was hearing a lot of good reviews about it, and I've wanted to read it really badly, actually, so I think I'm going to put this one on as number 2. And I've had this on my TBR for a while, so this will actually be a great one to read. Okay, going for 3. Love this one. An author you've never read. So, the first book I want to put on the list is just a book I want to read in general, and that is yet again Burnham Wood. I think this can count because I do have another book by this author, and I did start it, so technically I have read by her, but I never finished the book. I got kind of bored on the first chapter and put it down, so I think I'm going to choose this one, even though I guess I have read from her before. I just haven't finished the book, so whatever. I'm making up my own rules here, as I clearly did with the first prompt. So this is Burnham Wood by Eleanor Cannon. And this book follows, like, a guerrilla gardening collective that takes over this plot of land in New Zealand and starts guerrilla gardening. And then, like, this big millionaire comes down and he's like, hey, that's my land. And that's exactly how he says it in the book, too, I'm sure. And even though they're, like, very far apart politically, it seems they may have some enemies in common. So something starts from there. I don't know why I want to read this book so bad, but right now I just really want to read this book. I love the idea of like a guerrilla gardening collective. I love the idea that I have of the commentary this is going to have on like wealth and class. I'm like assuming it's going to touch on that because it just seems like it has to given the synopsis of the book. I don't know, I'm really excited about this one. It was like everywhere last year too. Like everyone was reading this, so I have to join in because I have to be like everyone else. I just have to. Okay. Going for 4. Ooh, I got 2. I'm just going to choose 1. Oh, cool. I don't know why I said cool for this one. A book with blue on the cover. Okay. That should be easy, right? Like, I shouldn't have a hard time with that. Watch me have a hard time with it. Blue. Blue, blue. Blue, blue, blue. Where are you? Yes. Okay. hope I got that through my mic, because I was just on the ground. I was like, yeah. Okay, the book that I'm choosing is Pew by Catherine Lacey. This is a book that follows like this small town, and they find a man on a church pew, and he's very unusual, and they don't know anything about him, and he doesn't speak, so they just start calling him Pew. I want to read this book because I really loved Catherine Lacey's other book, The Biography of X. Like, I love that book. I thought it was a perfect book, and I want to read everything she's ever written because of that. So this is going to be the next step on the list, I think. I'm just hoping it's weird. I'm hoping it's wonderful. And I hope it has her beautiful, beautiful writing. And I'm so excited. I can't even pretend not to be excited. I don't know why I would pretend, but I can't. So don't ask me to. How many books is that? Is that 4? I'm always losing track when I do these videos. Okay, going for 5. I don't even know what else I want on the TBR, because Burnham Wood and Wind and Truth were like the ones I really wanted to get on there. Okay. There's hair stuck to this one, so don't mind that. Can you see it? No. A book with a prologue. You can't really read it. I need to rewrite these so bad. A book with a prologue. Ooh, you know what would be a fun book to read? I don't know if this has a prologue. Look at me picking out a classic. Who is she? Let me see if it has a prologue. It does not, but I think The Last Man by Mary Shelley would have been a fun one to read, but I'll put it down. What has a prologue? This is a tricky one because I can't tell just by looking at them, so I'm going to have to pick up like a million books. It's just like I've picked up like 4 books already. Okay. I'm going to find a book with a prologue. I'm going to do it. I got to stop talking to you with my back facing the camera because that's just not good YouTubing. Just Jade City the prologue. Let's find out. Nope, it just starts with chapter 1. No. God Killer. I was supposed to read this in December, but I didn't. I wish I was holding my Mac. I wish I was holding my mic because I just gasped. God Killer does have a prologue. So this is a high fantasy book that takes place in a society where they've like gone after they've turned against the gods and they've started killing them. So like the king pays a price for like these god killers to hunt down gods and kill them. That's what the title says. I haven't really read fantasy in a while, like not like high fantasy at least. So this will be a fun added change, and it's a small one. We'll see if I manage to read it because Wind and Truth is probably gonna be everything this month. Okay, so that's 5 books. Let's go for 6. Okay. Not pumped about this one, to be honest. The next book in the series. So, I could do Dune, but I don't really feel like reading Dune, especially if I'm going to be reading Wind of Truth. Like, theoretically, if I read all these books, which probably isn't going to happen, but Wind of Truth is my priority this month. So, I don't want to read Dune on top of that. I could also read... I have the sequel to... Where are you? I don't feel like picking it up. I have the sequel to The Sympathizer, which is The Committed. I don't feel like reading that either, though, honestly, so I could continue on with The Wheel of Time, but I don't feel like doing that either. What I think I'm going to do... Where are you? This is an interesting choice for me. I think I'm going to go with the next book in the Interview with the Vampire series, The Vampire Chronicles. It's called The Vampire Lestat. I don't know why I'm choosing this one. I think it's just because it's the only sequel that I might want to read. I don't know why I'm choosing this one, but I'm just choosing it, and that's all I've got for you. So here we go. Okay, that was 6. Let's choose 7. Oh my god, they're stuck together. Be free. I don't know if I like this one. I'm gonna have to put this one down. A book inspired by a historical event. Like, what does that even mean, Sabrina? What could that possibly mean? How many books? Oh, I guess a nonfiction, right? Like, nonfictions are written in response to historical events. I'm showing you my back again. I'm so sorry. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to choose a nonfiction that I'm actually currently in the middle of reading because I know I'm not going to finish it by the end of the month. By the end of December, at least. Hopefully by January, I'll finish it. And that is The Warmth of the Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson. This is the epic story of America's Great Migration, which was a historical event. If you don't know, I forget what years it takes place between. From 1915 to 1970, there was like a mass exodus of black people from the American South to North and West. And Isabel Wilkerson? Isabel Wilkerson. Oh my god, I can't say her last name. It's such an easy last name. Wilkerson. She like interviewed like hundreds of people who took part in the Great Migration, and this book tells the story of 3 of them that she found to be like particularly representative. I've been loving this book so far. It's such a nice, easy read. It's just super big, so that's why I haven't finished it. But I think this one's perfect for the prompt. Okay, number 8. I hate this one. I hate this one. I hate it. Okay. 10th book on a shelf. I don't know if you can read that. I'm trying. 10th book on a shelf. I hate this one. Okay. I don't feel like reading Lockdown America. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my god, I definitely don't want to read this like heavy theory book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A Journey to Waco? Honestly, maybe. This is a book that's written by, like, if you don't know what Waco is, it was like this crazy cult. And then the government like destroyed their house. Like they bombed it or like caught it on fire or something and killed a bunch of like children that were inside and like innocent women. The men I won't call innocent because they were like doing some pretty nasty things to young girls. But this was written by a member of the cult. So like I didn't buy this. I want to make it very clear. I did not buy this new. So no money went to this man. I bought this at a used bookstore because I'm still interested in the story. This might have to be it, but I'm going to check to see if there's something else because I already have a nonfiction. I have a feeling The Warmth of Their Suns is going to take me like the entire month. 9, 10. I do not feel like reading a biography of Catherine the Great. Actually, I think I'm going to go with this one. Bliss Montage, Short Stories by Ling Ma. This is the author that wrote Severance, which is a book I really, really enjoyed. This is her short story collection, not usually short story girly, but I'm going to give it a shot. I love this cover. Can we talk about that? What a cover. I think it's great. That's 8, I think? Okay, let's go for 9. I'm so close to being done. This is going so fast. Oh, this is an annoying one too. A book that ends on an odd number of pages. Can you read this? Let me get it closer. A book that ends on an odd number of pages. Okay, so I want to read Agatha Christie pretty bad. Let's see how many pages it says. Yeah, be kidding me. It's 265. I got it on the first try. You can't say that isn't pretty neat. Neat. Who am I using that word? This is Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. So this is like a murder mystery taking place in a locked room on a train. Not a locked room, but like the trope of like locked room murder mystery. Like it's on a train, so it's kind of like a locked room. I've never read Agatha Christie before, but I'm kind of entering my mystery thriller era, so I've wanted to pick this up, and it's a short one, so there's a chance I might actually get to it. So this is definitely going on the TBR. And it has come to our last book. Let's hope we get a nice prompt. Like I just want a nice little prompt that I'm gonna like. Oh no. I'm gonna be revealing myself here. A book inspired by the last song you listened to. What was the last song I listened to? Do I have to open Spotify? Okay, I'm opening Spotify and I'm hoping that GarageBand isn't going to crash. So let's pray that my audio doesn't cut out because I'm opening Spotify. Guys. Okay, so, the last song I listened to is a great song and I stand by it. But it's a song that I don't think many people are going to know. It is Terrorist by Ice Peak. Ice Peak is this Russian horror trance band that I listen to. And Terrorist is actually a very good song. I wish I could play it for you, but I don't know how. Actually, I guess I can play a second of it. Let's play that. Let's just scare you a little bit. Okay, that's a second of it. I don't know if the camera, I don't know if the mic is going to have picked up on that, but we'll see. I'll see when I'm editing this. If not, then I'm sorry. So anyway, yeah, it's a song called Terrorist, and it's about them being deemed Russian. Deemed Russians, they're already Russian. About them being deemed terrorists by the Russian government because they made songs like critiquing the Russian government. So what's a good book for this, guys? I don't think I have any book about terrorists, I'm gonna be honest. And they're not really like terrorists. They're just like, that makes me think of like someone, ooh, this is a good one. Okay, someone that the government has deemed a terrorist that like definitely isn't. I've got this. Perfect book for this is Asada by Asada Shakur. I don't know how to say Shakur. I don't know how to say her last name. I'm so sorry. Asada was a Black Panther, and she was deemed a terrorist by the United States government. She was like acquitted for like every single crime that they accused her of except for one, but I don't know much about it, to be honest. But then she escaped prison and now she lives in Cuba, and this is her biography, her autobiography. I've been wanting to read this for so long, and I can't get over how perfect this is for the song Terrorist, because she's like a Black freedom fighter, you know? She's a Black Panther, like, she's not a terrorist. And she's still, I don't know if it's currently, but she was like on America's like most wanted list, which is wild because she's just like this woman who's peaceably living in Cuba now. Like, she's not doing anything wrong. I'm gonna get eaten alive in these comments by people who are against communism for saying that. But I'm saying it. And let it also be known that, again, I don't know much about it. I'm not gonna say anything that I know about, like, the crime she was jailed for, because while I'm pretty sure I'm right, I'm not totally sure if I know all the facts, so I don't want to, like, steer anyone wrong. But I'm sure I'll learn about it in this book, and I can tell you about it afterwards. So there you go, guys. Those are the 10 books I plan to be reading in January. We'll see how many of them I can get through, but I think this is actually a really nice TBR. Like, I'm excited about all these books, except for maybe one or two, but for the most part, I am. Let me know what books you want to read in January down below, and I'll see you soon with another video. Goodbye!